Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the PantyNectar Podcast, your host, PantyNectar.
Thank you. Hello. Welcome to another amazing episode of the PantyNectar Podcast. We're so happy that you could join us today. Today's episode is going to be all about your rhythm and how to stay in it, how to get back into it, how to deal with that. But before we jump into the episode, I would like to discuss that. First off, that intro, Mr. Pete, that was great.
I was going right through here and I saw that crack in the whip effect and I was like, oh, that sounds good. And I need that before and kind of fits the theme. So in a lot of ways, we like to get a little kinky during sex, but also crack the whip when we need to within ourselves, like you were talking about, when we need to stay in line if you get off track a little bit, which is what you wanted to discuss today. And I always think that that's a great topic.
Very important. We were in the kitchen just talking about how, we've been finding a good flow here lately. We've been getting into a really good routine, and we were just like, man, people need to hear that. People need to hear that, it's okay to get off track sometimes. Yeah. It happens. You just have to have the accountability to get back on track. But we're going to dive into that. First off, I want to discuss Elon's rocket. Yeah,
did you see that yesterday, PantyNectar? So today is April 21st is when we're recording this.
Yes.
And on 4/20, there was a even bigger event than what we usually celebrate.
Yes. The Elon, what is it? The biggest rocket ever in history?
Biggest anything.
It's crazy.
Biggest anything.
How cool. So I actually did not see the launch. I opted to go to the gym. Sorry, Elon.
He's upset.
But you did watch.
He's listening right now thinking, you motherfucker, you didn't watch the launch.
No, I did not. I saw videos of it after the fact. What an incredible, amazing thing. I could not imagine being one of the people that were there at the beach, being able to see that happen. That's pretty amazing. So shout out to Elon and his team for being able to kick ass at that.
SpaceX, man, they're doing crazy, crazy things with all the launches that they're having. I saw just the other day on Twitter, they had 25 successful launches of different rockets, and this was prior to the big event yesterday. So
right, that's awesome.
They just keep going.
Yeah. So, back to accountability and getting off track. I was saying you and I were in the kitchen and we were just discussing all of that. And I think that's a really important message to put out there because people, I'm one of those people, I get very hard on myself sometimes when I know that I'm not on a good rhythm like I should be.
Right.
It can be frustrating and you either keep going down that path or you take accountability and you get back into the rhythm and change things. So I think that's an important message to discuss today because I think it happens and you should have some grace with yourself when it happens. But you should also be able to hold yourself accountable to be able to get back on track.
Yeah, 100%. That reminds me, I saw this Instagram post years ago, and I think it was Jocko Willink who, I really don't use Instagram at all anymore, but Jocko's Instagram is, or at least at that time, was very straightforward. Mm-hmm. It was black and white, and it was a picture of his fucking Timex Iron Man watch or whatever it is, and
his sweat mark or something.
And it would be the time that he woke up in the morning. Mm-hmm. And then he would, that would just be kind of like I'm here showing up type thing. And but one time he posted about getting off track or something like that. And then he was saying, it's okay to get off track, but you have to be on the right path.
Right.
You have to have that destination in mind, you have to know where you're going, because if you don't know that, when you get off track, you won't know that you need to hop back up on that path and keep going in that same direction.
Yeah.
So it's okay to your point, it's okay to get off track. We all do. I mean, every day, right?
Yeah.
Every day sometimes is a fucking struggle to just, make shit happen, get things done. You're tired. The alarm clock goes off in the morning. You don't want to wake up.
Right.
You might have to go to a job that you don't necessarily enjoy, but you got to do it to pay the bills. And that can put you in a, disparate mindset pretty quick. Mm-hmm. And you have to know that you're not the only one fucking struggling with that shit, right?
Yeah.
Like everyone does.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone struggles with something in their life, quite frequently, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean that that some people don't handle things better than others. I think that, that's kind of one of the success markers in life. If you look at people who are successful in the terms of financial sense, who made it themselves,
mm-hmm.
like a lot of those people exhibit a tendency to deal with things really well.
Right. Handle stressors a little bit better.
Like Gary Vee talks about, he's like, I'm all I do is put out fires all day. That's what he says. I have this office over here in this country, this office in this country, this office over here. The fucking plumbing goes out in this one happens. The client called and this happened. And, so boom, boom, boom. It's just all this shit. Mm-hmm. And it's like, first, if you're in business like that, you put yourself in that position.
Right.
You wouldn't excel to that point if you didn't do well. But they show a really good way of just being able to put up with the bullshit.
I think it also boils down to just doing shit that you don't want to do, making that happen. Because I think when you start doing the shit that you don't want to do, you open new doors that you wouldn't have opened prior, whether that be a habit or anything, a job, anything. So I think it's important.
No, I think that's kind of like a two-pronged thing, because I do agree with you fully mm-hmm. on the context that you mean it in. Like by doing things you don't want to do, I think that you're kind of like health and fitness, right? Mm-hmm. Like get up and go to the gym, get up and go run, like that. Like those are the types of things, or
people, do the dishes or do the laundry so it doesn't sit in the fucking dryer for a week,
right.
Just do it.
Or people who do cold plunges,
right.
like that, the whole mentality behind that. And I agree with that. But also what I don't agree with is don't do bullshit that people want you to do if you don't want to do it.
No, shit
does that
for
make
you.
Sense? Yeah, exactly.
Do shit for you.
Don't do something because you think someone wants you. No, fuck that. Do what you want to do, but do it for the benefit of your growth.
I think that I think that anyone that comes to the table with me and my partner, yada yada yada. I don't think it boils down to a singular thing. I don't think it boils down to a couple thing or even being in some kind of partnership. I think it boils down to you being in your own lane, focusing on yourself, diving in like that.
I like to dive into you, PantyNectar, talking about diving in.
That's funny.
Yeah. So, PantyNectar, we've been busy lately. We got this new little podcast set up that we're working with right here, and I really like it. How do you feel about this?
I really like this as well. Yeah, this is nice. Super nice.
I think we'll be able to reach out to the people more and
I do want to announce just to make my comeback very official. I'm running a 10K next weekend.
Oh, we were talking about, okay, so tell us about that.
Okay, so, racing is something that I really enjoy, not necessarily for of course you get a little bit competitive, but you're not out there breaking records or anything, but I enjoy socializing without having to socialize per se, and that everyone there loves the same thing as well. They love to run,
right.
So it's good energy, good vibes, and you get a medal and a t-shirt afterwards, so if you finish, so it's awesome. So I decided the other day that is one of the things that makes me happy, doing races. And so I just got online, looked one up, found the closest one that was happening the soonest, and signed up for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'll report back.
Yeah. Well, I'm very excited for you. You asked me if I wanted to do that, and I wasn't excited for myself as I was for you. So I definitely
But you're gonna be there, right? Supporting.
You're putting me on the spot here. Like,
oh my gosh!
Of course I will.
I knew.
Of course I will be. I will be standing at the finish line, hitting the first hand that comes across, and it will be yours, I'm sure, babe.
No, I'm not coming in first.
You're pretty fucking fast, so.
I am fast. Oh, you can't. Okay, we gotta chill out because my ego starts coming up and I get too competitive.
Yeah, like today. So you were talking about that, and before this morning when we woke up and we were talking about the podcast, and you were saying how like you wanted to kind of mention things because you hold yourself accountable when you put it out there like that. And then you're like, okay, we're going to talk about like accountability in a way, and then like fitness, and then you're like,
I feel like I'm about to get roasted.
No, you're like, should I wear a robe or should I put on my workout outfit? I was like, I don't know, a fucking robe sounds good.
I know.
You're like, no, I need to wear a workout. So you were wearing this sexy fucking outfit.
Yes, because part of my routine is here in a little bit, I'll be headed to the gym. And, like it's just the whole mentality thing. You have to put yourself in the right mentality because like if I was in a robe, I'd probably be real comfy and then take a while to get ready and then maybe make my way. And by the time I make it, I'm not really that hyped to work out and I don't get a great workout, which is on me, but just give yourself the best possible start that you can.
So PantyNectar, how would you suggest someone who doesn't necessarily know how to get in that right mindset, right? Like, because we all struggle with getting in the right mindset, and some of us struggle with it more than others, and maybe some of us have never been able to get in the mindset that we think we should be able to have gotten. What would you suggest to maybe just fucking spark it into somebody to where like they could take something and run with it?
So I think that one thing that made a big impact in my personal development journey has been just listening to things that get me in that kind of state of mind. And I mean like back before I was really listening to David Goggins and Eckhart Tolle and people like that, I would go on YouTube and type in motivational speeches, and like you have the 10-minute Arnold speech or The Rock or whoever they mix in there, and like that shit gets you going. That stuff, when they put the music behind it and like that stuff gives me energy. So like it's as simple as even YouTubing something to get your fire lit.
That's a great point, and I fully agree with that. Like, YouTube University, like you can learn anything on YouTube, and it starts with a like motivation. Like I didn't even consider that, but I myself have gone to YouTube seeking out more specific, people to listen to their stuff. But you type in motivational speeches on YouTube, and
have you done that before?
No, I never have, but I can imagine. I mean, because YouTube's their algorithms want to show you the best shit that has been seen.
Best stuff.
There's a reason that video has been seen 50 or 100 million times, right? Like watch it and maybe the person that you click on, maybe that individual doesn't resonate with you, right? Like I think that just like music, just like fashion, just like vehicles, right? Like people see different things, and everybody sees something differently. So if you don't get motivated by the first person, go to the next one.
Yeah, they're very good because they also most of them include a couple different people. So like they'll throw in Tony Robbins, they'll throw in, and like that way you're really introduced to a lot of different things that like you're saying, you may find someone that
like I would so strongly recommend Tony Robbins to anyone. Yeah. Like I truly do. Like that guy, like truly my life changed after going to one of his. That's just a fact, right? Like, was it coincidence? I don't fucking know, right? But like and I've mentioned this on the podcast before, the funny part about that is like when I first started listening to the first time I saw him really like one of his little things was at Netflix, and like I was not impressed at all. And I was just like, what the fuck is this? You know, so like I could understand how sometimes, you know, like if somebody clicks on Tony Robbins, they're like, this guy, you can't even understand what the fuck he's saying. His voice is so scratched, and like he's yelling at people. Who's like, I could understand how that's not like your vibe, right? Like, so who knows? Maybe it's fucking like old female motivational speakers. That's what motivates you. Go fucking
Zig
find
Ziglar,
that.
Yeah.
Well, Zig's a dude, but yeah.
Oh, did you say female?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't even realize that. I thought you said.
But no,
dude.
Zig Ziglar, and that's like, you know, that's funny you mentioned that because, like, I listened to Zig Ziglar on cassette tapes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're talking old.
Yeah, see, but this was like in probably 2003-ish, I guess, 4 time frame. And my mom had bought me these Zig Ziglars, like this, I don't know, like a 6 or 4 cassette, you know, set or whatever it was. And I listened to those things. Zig was such a fascinating individual. And his gift in life was communication. Right. And he leveraged that gift to sell products. And he did a fantastic job. And from his success of selling products, he was able to show people, hey, this is how I'm able to be so successful selling products is because I have this gift of communication.
Right.
And so listening to Zig, you learn so much more than just how to sell, right? Like it's about like how to communicate with people.
Yeah. So it's really good stuff.
Yeah. Like I remember one of them where he did this thing to where like he would say whatever it was, you know, this one phrase, right? Like, but he would use like different rise and fall of his voice, you know, and different pitches and everything. And like, so the same words would invoke completely different feelings.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like crazy. You're like, what
That's
the
good.
fuck? Yeah. So
Yeah.
I do love, I need to listen to Zig Ziglar.
Yeah, I haven't in a while either. And like, you know, personal development was really huge for me because like, especially when I was 18, 19 years old, my parents were just fresh through a divorce, a really ugly divorce. And like having these people, I kid you not, like I kept wondering what was going on in my intimate relationships. There was always this angst and always this fighting, and I couldn't understand. And I found this guy on YouTube that like broke down certain emotions and things like that, and like it helped me work through a lot of stuff. So I definitely recommend if you're listening to someone and you're turned off or almost like offended by something they say, I challenge you to like dig into that a little bit and like ask yourself why that comes at you so strong or why you feel that way. Because I guarantee like if you dig a little deeper, the problem is never really what we think the problem is. It's always something deeper. You know what I mean? And being able to listen to people like all of these people helps you understand that.
Or like you've mentioned it to me, like how David Goggins talks about like, why are you so triggered by what somebody said?
Right.
Why are you offended? Like it's probably because there's maybe a thread of truth to that.
Right.
Or you wouldn't be so offended by it.
Yeah.
So audit that shit.
Yeah.
Right.
He has it's like the mirror challenge or something in his first book, Can't Hurt Me, where he talks about like put a mirror in your room and put up the ugly shit that you don't like and just that's ugly about you. And I mean, i.e. like he says, if you're fat, put your fat up there, put that, like that's the fucking truth. It's not here to hurt your feelings, or maybe it is because then you'll do something different. But you have to put that ugly shit out there in order to move forward and really bury that stuff. In my opinion.
Yeah. And it's like in my former life, I was in quality assurance. And like it's one of the things there is like everything has to be measured, right? Like there needs to be data on something, whatever you're doing, because if you can't measure it, it can't be improved.
Right.
So David's making it to like call yourself out. Like where do you stand?
Yeah.
You have to, you know, we talk about it all the time, self-awareness, right?
Yeah.
And like you have to be honest enough with yourself to know where you stand. It doesn't mean that you go out in public and you fucking proclaim, I'm fat as fuck, or like, whatever it is, whatever you're, I'm an alcoholic, or, I do that, whatever it is that you think you need to improve on. Let me just put it that way, because I'm not here to judge anybody. I just want people to be the best versions of themselves that they can be. Like, truly, honestly, like that's
truly healthy.
Yeah. And like knowing that, like, what does that even mean? Fuck, I don't know. But, in reality, I think that if you just every day try to improve a little bit, just a little bit, then you're working in a positive direction. Yeah. So you talk about David saying, write that stuff on the mirror, what he calls the accountability mirror. Like you're giving yourself that baseline. And when you start seeing that and you're like, okay, I'm right here. I remember I've mentioned it before that, I was like 260 pounds when I got out of the Marine Corps after, 7, 8, 10 months, whatever it was, just drinking, fucking smoking cigarettes like a train, just being nasty, and then I was like, I was at size 38 G. That's what it was. I was at size. That's crazy. Yep. This was like the moment. I was at size 38 waist, and I was like stretching out of them things, and I was about to have to go by 40s, and like I remember that, like. I was like, there's no fucking way. I told and that was just like, in my mind, I was like, that was the limit. Like, that was it. There was not even like, it was not even a struggle really to be like, oh, fuck. It was just like, that's it. Like, boom, it's a cutoff. Like, I'm not doing that. I know that what I'm doing right now, fucking going and eating Whataburger 2-3 times a day, drinking every Friday and Saturday, Saturday night as much as you possibly can. Yeah. Not making nutrition and proper diet and exercise and drinking a shit ton of water a part of, your daily life. Right. Those are the results. Yeah. And I knew that. It was just like I didn't want to deal with it. But then at that point, when I was about to go to size 40, I was like, fuck this. And I definitely changed.
Yeah. And I do challenge people to dig deeper too. Like, don't be so vague with the surface level, like, oh, I'm lazy. Like, no, let's dig into that. Why are you lazy? What makes you, you know what I mean? Like, I overeat. Well, no, why do you overeat? What happens? Right. Like, dig into that stuff. Right. There's, dig into that stuff.
100%, like, and Gary Vee talks about that. Like, he doesn't believe, like, where most people think that most people are probably inherently lazy, which I think that there's probably a lot of truth to that. Gary kind of puts it in a different perspective of, like, he doesn't think that most people are lazy. He just thinks that most people are stuck doing something that they don't want to do.
They're unmotivated.
Exactly. So how are you going to get motivated if you're fucking showing up to work at a job that you don't even want to be at?
Yeah. And maybe that's the kicker that you need to realize, like, damn, I got to get out of this job. I got to start doing something that's going to make me live a life that I want to live and not just rot and waste away going to this 9-to-5 that I don't want to be at.
And we also can, talk about fitness in that sense as well. Like you love going to the gym, you love doing any activity, right? But like I'm not necessarily a gym person. That's just not my thing. So what I do is I go out and run. That's what, now granted, you're much more healthy than I am.
Oh my gosh, whatever.
But
babe, you got a few years on me. It's okay.
Yeah. But like to, just keep my general health in check, it's like I go out and run, so like, and then some people, like, you don't have to be a gym person or be a runner. Like, some people play basketball. Some people play tennis.
Pilates in their
Some
home.
people go fucking play 36 rounds of golf and walk the golf course all weekend. Yeah. Or not 36 rounds, 36 holes, I guess that'd be, right? Like, that'd be a lot of rounds of golf. Like, you can tell I'm not a golfer. Right? But nonetheless, like, find an activity that you enjoy, and at first it may be an activity that you can tolerate. Yeah. And then that you can dive off deeper in, like some people live in great fucking like beautiful mountainsides and like you can go hiking and stuff.
This also means like accountability within yourself to like, maybe you need to stop hanging around certain people as soon as you get off work because, you just bullshit instead of going to get done what you need to get done. That's just an example, but like, maybe you need to stop hanging out with the friend that likes to go to the bar and drink every weekend. They're like, maybe that means you have to lose some people in your inner circle to be able to find this path that does work for you and is a healthy journey for you.
Yeah. And if I could help one person that's listening right now that like is truly listening, that is kind of in a situation where maybe they've been stuck in their kind of routine for a while, that's like maybe their hometown. And you have an opportunity to get out and go move somewhere else and do something different, do it.
Go do it.
Don't stay stuck in the same place. Like, I think that is like one of the biggest downfalls that many people never realize, that like when you stay stuck in the same physical location for your fucking entire existence, like you never get to experience anything more than that. Now, that's not saying that the place that you're at is bad. Not at all. You could live in an amazing place, and that's probably why you don't want to leave, and that's great. But it's also good to break the routine. Yeah. To go out, and maybe you have to move 2 states away to go do something different, whatever it is. You'll have to, it will trigger different things in your life. You'll have to meet new people, meet new friends.
Do new things,
make different habits, different healthy habits. And it will also be an opportunity for, maybe some people are, let's say there's a peer group that they're not, the bad crowd, or what you were talking about. Maybe there's some friends that like, fuck, like, I love these people, but
they're not doing anything.
We're probably not good for each other. You know what I mean? And so, that would be it. And it doesn't mean that
we're not saying
forever.
Don't love your friends. Like, love your friends, but also let your friends know, like, you got to be surrounded by people that do want to grow and do want to do things. And like, that's no hate. That's just facts. And people can either grow with you or they can stay the same, and that just be what it is. We're not saying, hate anyone. Love everyone.
PantyNectar, you know what I've been noticing?
What?
That booty's been growing.
You
lately.
like that?
Yeah.
It has. I've been loving going to the gym.
You look good as fuck.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, before we sign off today's episode, I do want to read some messages I've been getting from some fans. This is from Enough Confidence 18. He said, I've only listened to about half of the most recent episode, but I'm actually out here walking on the trail, thinking about what you guys are saying, and it is having a positive effect on me. Nice. Thought you should know.
Who was that?
Enough Confidence 18.
Very nice. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate that so much. And also Sadie Juice. Sadie Juice says, thank you for your podcast on how to survive Reddit. I was banned from 3 of my best subreddits on one day and was so mad about it. And your podcast really helped me look at it differently. Yeah. My husband and I are just starting our little empire, but I look up to you. Thanks for all you do, XOXO.
Yeah, fucking keep grinding away. What was her name again?
Sadie Juice.
Sadie Juice. Yeah, I was thinking, man, that sounds a lot like PantyNectar. Like the same thing.
It does.
Yeah, yes. Reddit is a tough place to navigate sometimes, in the sense of like, especially from a creator perspective, right? Like, but we're trying to do our part to clean that up a little bit and make it a more pleasurable environment for the creators, and know that truly, like, the creator community is stronger when everybody fucking sticks together.
Exactly.
And there's nobody like fighting and shit and thinking that like, that's something we need to talk about, is fucking, we could spend a whole podcast on abundance and scarcity, right? To think that like, because somebody gets some likes or some comments on a post and you don't, that somehow takes away from you, or be like, it's just crazy. Like,
self accountability.
So, and everybody, I think, will do much better if, everybody just gets along.
Yes. And we have a ton of communities on Reddit. Yes.
Sorry, go ahead. Didn't interrupt.
We just have a ton of communities on Reddit. So if you need some communities to post in and you want to get some love and find some new people and just be a part of a great community, message us, go on PantyNectar profile and check out where we post.
Yeah. And also the Discord. The Discord has been on fucking fire. And you talk about...
I was going to mention that. The Discord is crazy right now. I don't know what has been going on, but the floodgates have really opened up here lately. And we have so many amazing women that are in the Discord right now, which is all the guys are loving. So it has been a really fun place to be, especially in the last few weeks. It's been awesome.
Yeah, I think a lot of that can be attributed to Miss Alexi Legend.
Yes.
Who she has been incredibly active in the Discord and has made everybody feel incredibly welcome.
Yes, she's one of our mods actually now.
She got promoted to the moderatorship or whatever you call that. But no, she's awesome, and thank you to her and everybody in that awesome Discord. There's like 39,000 fucking people in that.
Yeah,
thing, right?
And people don't understand it truly takes a team because there, like you said, there's 40,000 people in there. It's its own platform on its own. There's a lot of moderating that needs to happen to be able to keep the Discord, just on a positive, upbeat track. And now it's been like, now you're right, like the team effort has lasted now for a couple years, and it's like, and there's people who were like part of the team prior, before that, like, they've gone on to do that, they're not necessarily as active there now, but they still pop in every once in a while, say hi, and we love seeing everybody in there. Discord, I think, is like, I don't know, it's so weird because like it's so fucking simple, but it's like so awesome, and I think it's kind of the future of the way we interact with people. Yeah, if you have not checked out the Discord, I know it could be a little daunting at first if you get on and you're not a Discord user, but I promise if you just play around and stick with it, I do have a video in the welcome section that you'll see when joining the Discord, so that'll help you navigate things a little bit better between the lounge, all the not safe for work channels and everything. So hope to see you guys in there.
See ya. I was saying that guitar player sounds pretty good.